Welcome. Did you know that Sri Lanka, known as the Pearl of the Indian Ocean, has an ocean 3 times as large as the country? From time immemorial, our country has been an important hub for shipping. There is evidence that kings such as Parakrambahu the Great and Gajaba, who ruled the country in ancient times, had powerful naval forces. Also, the International Sea Silk Road stretched across Sri Lanka, so the naval field is nothing new to us. But with the recent shipwreck of the new Diamond, a lot of people started talking about ships. The new Diamond, built 20 years ago by Mitsui of Japan, was owned by a Greek company and registered in Panama. This is a crude oil tanker 333 meters long and 60 meters wide. The amount of crude oil that can be transported here is 299,986 metric tons. A ship like this, called the jumbo tanker, at the time of the accident, the ship was sailing 38 nautical miles off the coast of Sri Lanka and was transporting 270,000 metric tons of crude oil from the Kuwaiti Min Al Ahmadi terminal to the Indian port of Pradeep. At that time there were about 1,400 metric tons of diesel required for the ship's engine in addition to crude oil. It was revealed that an explosion in a boiler of the ship had caused a fire in the engine room. One of the ship's crew members was killed in the explosion, but the captain of the ship was not in a position to take any proper action to put out a fire on such an oil tanker. Do you know the heroism of the brave naval and air heroes of Sri Lanka? With the assistance of the Indian Coast Guard, prevented one of the worst marine environmental disasters in world history. Following the disaster signals received by the Sri Lanka Navy, the Navy immediately began monitoring the ship by a Beechcraft aircraft. At the same time, 3 naval ships Ranarasi, Sijarala, Sayur and 2 speedboats as well as 2 tugboats were deployed for disaster management. At the time of the accident, the merchant ship Helen M., which was passing by, had started rescuing the remaining crew of the 22-member ship. After completing the task, our heroes began extinguishing the fire by spraying water on the burning area. Then the chemical used to extinguish the oil fire was poured on the fire. Meanwhile, seawater was cooled by spraying the front of the ship with the crude oil tanks and the surrounding ocean. This stopped the crude oil from overheating. 176 operations carried out by the Sri Lanka Air Force to unload 440,000 liters of water and 4,500 kilograms of fire-extinguishing chemicals. The fire destroyed the engine, accommodation, bridge, etc. behind the ship. There were strong cracks in the hull of the ship. After the fire was extinguished, the ship was handed over to an international rescue company and given the opportunity to be taken beyond the Sri Lankan border. If the tanker caught fire and exploded, the damage would be enormous. It costs a lot of effort to remove crude oil. Worst of all, no amount of effort can add up to 100,000 metric tons of scattered crude oil. This will not repair the damage done to the ocean and the coast for hundreds of years. Millions of marine life will die. Okay, now let's see where the new Diamond is today. The rescue company was able to tow the ship to the port of Kandla in the western Indian state of Gujarat in late September. According to reports, the crude oil on board the ship is being unloaded. Not only that, but the ship will then be sold to scrap metal. Stay awake. Thank you.